In this video, I have some exciting news for all the Jade Cargill fans out there, and let me tell you, this is just the beginning of some much-needed positivity. For months, there has been uncertainty, speculation, and frustration surrounding Jade's status in WWE. Fans have been left in the dark, trying to piece together what exactly happened and when they can expect to see her back in action. Let's rewind a bit. This all started on a random episode of SmackDown back in November when WWE suddenly ran a mystery attacker angle involving Jade. There was no build-up, no warning, just a shocking moment where she was taken out in a parking lot. And that was it. She was gone from TV. This completely blindsided fans because, at that point, there had been absolutely no reports or rumors suggesting that Jade was injured or planning to take time off. Usually, when a major star like Jade is expected to be absent, there are whispers, leaks, or at least some form of speculation. But this came out of nowhere, leaving fans confused and desperate for answers. Fast forward nearly 4 months, and there still hasn't been much official discussion about what exactly happened. However, there is a significant development that we're going to dive into today. But before we do that, let's set the scene properly. When Jade Cargill disappeared from WWE television, there was immediate concern among fans. People wanted to know, was she actually injured? Was this just a storyline? Was WWE unsure how to book her and decided to write her off TV for a while? Initially, reports from sources like Dave Meltzer, Fightful Select, and WrestleVotes suggested that Jade had suffered a legitimate injury. At first, it was believed she would be out for at least 3 months, which seemed to align with her sudden absence. However, things took a turn when, on Thanksgiving Day, PW Insider reported that Jade was not injured at all. Instead, they claimed her absence was purely storyline related and that she would be back soon. But here we are in mid-February, and she's still nowhere to be seen. That's where the confusion and frustration have come in for fans. If this was all just a storyline, why hasn't she returned yet? If she was never actually injured, why did other sources report that she was? And if she has been good to go for months, why has WWE kept her off television for so long? One of the more interesting pieces of news that has come out recently is that PW Insider has reported Jade has been training at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, for nearly 2 months now, preparing for her in-ring return. Additionally, she took some time off for vacation, which was also confirmed by PW Insider and something she shared on social media. However, this leads to another strange inconsistency. Other sources have continued to state that Jade is still listed on WWE's internal injury list as inactive talent, and that's weird because WWE doesn't typically kayfabe that kind of information. If she were truly just written off for storyline purposes, she wouldn't be on that list. So what's the real story here? Now, let's talk about the major development from the February 14th episode of SmackDown because this is where things start to pick up. After months of silence, the mystery surrounding Jade's disappearance finally gained some traction. On SmackDown, General Manager Nick Aldis revealed new footage from the night of the attack. And this footage showed something very interesting. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were seen lurking around the scene as Jade was being loaded into an ambulance. Naturally, this raised a lot of eyebrows and led to speculation about whether they were involved in the attack. As a result of this new information, Naomi and Bianca announced that they would be heading to the February 17th episode of Monday Night Raw to address the situation. This is where things start to get very interesting. For context, let's not forget that when Jade Cargill was attacked, she and Bianca were the reigning WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Since Jade's absence, Naomi has stepped in to replace her, and she and Bianca have successfully defended the championships on multiple occasions. But with Jade's return seemingly imminent, things are bound to get complicated. Now, here's the big question everyone wants to know. Who actually attacked Jade? Was it Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez? Was it Naomi? Could it be someone else entirely? While many fans believe Naomi is the prime suspect, I don't think we're going to get that revealed just yet. WWE is going to milk this storyline for as much suspense and drama as possible, which means they'll stretch things out a bit longer before pulling the trigger on the big reveal. That's why I don't expect Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to just come out and admit to the attack on Monday Night Raw. And I also don't think Naomi is going to reveal herself as the mastermind behind it, at least not yet. What I believe is happening here is that WWE is gradually building toward Jade's return, and they want to create as much anticipation as possible before making it official. Now, as for when Jade will actually return, I don't see it happening before Elimination Chamber on March 1st. Instead, I think WWE will save her comeback for the weeks leading into WrestleMania. Whether that leads to a match between Jade and Naomi at WrestleMania remains to be seen, but I do think that's the direction they're heading in. The great news for fans is that we're finally getting consistent updates and developments on WWE television regarding Jade Cargill, and while there's still no official date for her return, all signs indicate that it's getting closer and closer. But now, let's get into the real questions. How exactly will WWE reveal Naomi as the attacker, assuming she is the one behind it? Typically, in cases like this, WWE, and other wrestling promotions like AEW and TNA, will use security footage to show a babyface wrestler getting attacked, leading to a dramatic reveal. I expect something similar here, where we'll eventually see footage exposing Naomi as the one who orchestrated the attack, leading to a heated confrontation with Jade. Beyond that, there are even bigger questions about the women's tag team championships. Are Bianca Belair and Jade going to remain champions when Jade returns? Will they drop the titles before her return? Could they even lose them on the same night Jade comes back? And if Jade and Bianca do drop the belts, will it be to Naomi and a new partner? There are a lot of different ways WWE can go with this. One possibility is that WWE turns this into a tag team match at WrestleMania, where Jade and Bianca defend the women's tag team championships against Naomi and a new partner. But who would Naomi's partner be? There's no obvious choice right now, but WWE could call up someone from NXT or use a main roster talent who hasn't been featured much lately. Another possibility is that WWE decides to prioritize Jade versus Naomi as a major singles match, bigger than the women's tag team championship picture. If that's the case, WWE could have Jade and Bianca drop the titles before WrestleMania, allowing Jade to focus entirely on her feud with Naomi. But that would leave the women's tag team championships without a WrestleMania match, which is something WWE would have to consider. No matter which direction WWE chooses, one thing is for sure, Jade's return is going to be a major moment, and this storyline is going to be one of the most intriguing parts of the road to WrestleMania. In conclusion, the big takeaway here is that Jade Cargill is getting closer to her return, and fans should be excited. While we still don't know the exact date of her comeback, the developments on SmackDown and the upcoming segment on Raw suggest that it won't be long before she steps back into the ring. Whether her return happens before or after WrestleMania, one thing is certain: when Jade comes back, it's going to be a massive moment in WWE.
These days, John Cena's in-ring outings are more and more memorable, and the prospect of a historic 17th world title looms greater with each comeback. Many believe that Cena is in a prime position to overtake Ric Flair as the most decorated world champion in wrestling history as he enters his last years in the company. Bully Ray, a legendary wrestler and analyst, recently offered his thoughts on this possible situation while co-hosting Busted Open Radio. He hypothesized that a major contributing cause would be WWE's aim to promote their own productions above those of former rival organizations like WCW. I can see the WWE swooning over the prospect of being able to claim that their homegrown talent, who they developed in an OVW test tube, became one of the biggest professional wrestlers, and according to many Mount Rushmore, is currently the most decorated world heavyweight champion of all time. This is entirely WWE's doing. They will always want their creations to be better than anyone else's. To elaborate, Ray thought about the optimum time for WWE to possibly award Cena this record-breaking title. He said, "This is it, I'm done, my career is finished, and this is the last chance I'm ever going to get to wrestle in front of people, and my last chance to ever win a championship." It was his last night in the wrestling industry. Do you wish to construct something? John Cena's final opportunity, the final night ever. Whatever you want to say, he wins the championship that evening. Cena has announced that he will be competing in the Elimination Chamber. It will be interesting to watch whether Cena's involvement in the Elimination Chamber marks the beginning of his storied career or a step toward his possible record-breaking 17th title reign. Visit https://www.wrestlinginc.com/1790151/Bully Ray assesses reason why we made John Cena break world title record/ to learn more.